Good morning, everyone. I am Sudha Sarangi, and today I am going to teach you about the crushing strength test. So, in the previous session, we have studied about the impact test. Okay, so today we are going to study about the crushing strength test. Okay, so the principal mechanical properties required in road stones are: first one is satisfactory resistance to crushing under the roller during construction, and the second one is adequate resistance to surface abrasion under traffic. Also, stresses under rigid tire rims of heavily loaded animal drawn vehicles are high enough to consider the crushing strength of road aggregates as an essential requirement in India. Crushing strength of road aggregate may be determined either an aggregate or an cylindrical specimens cut out of rocks. The aggregate crushing value provides a relative measure of resistance to crushing under gradually applied compressive load. Okay. So now we are going to study about the testing procedure. So how we will conduct the test? Select clean and dry aggregate passing through IS 12.5 mm and retained on IS 10 mm sieve. So as before I said that we have to take dry aggregate always for construction of road. Weight the empty cylindrical measure, let the weight be 8 grams. Fill the aggregate in the cylindrical measure in 3 layers, tamping each layer 25 times with the rounded end of the tamping rod. The same process, okay. In impact test also we have followed this procedure to complete the test or to conduct the test. Weigh the cylindrical measure with aggregate. Let the weight be B grams. Thus the weight of aggregate, how we will find W 1 gram? Like B minus A, we can find out. Then transfer the aggregate into the sealed steel cylinder again in 3 layers, tamping each layer 25 times. Place the plunger in the steel cylinder such that the piston rests horizontally over the aggregate surface. Keep the assembly of steel cylinder with plunger in the compression testing machine. Set the pointer to read 0 and apply the compressive load of 40 tons. Stop the machine, take out the assembly, sieve the crushed material on IS 2.36 mm sieve and find the weight of material passing this sieve. Let the weight be W2 grams, then aggregate crushing value will be W2 by W1 into 100%. The same procedure we have to follow, but in that impact test we are applying impact load. Okay, but here we are applying compressive load. Okay, about 40 tons of load we are applying over it. This is a horizontal plate and this is the total setup for aggregate crushing strength test. Okay, next test is specific gravity and water absorption test on aggregate. This is also most important. The specific gravity of an aggregate is considered to be a measured strength or quality of the material. Stones having low specific gravity are generally weaker than those with higher specific gravity values. The specific gravity test helps in the identification of stone. Water absorption gives an idea of strength of rock stones having more water absorption are more porous in nature and are generally considered unsuitable unless they are found to be acceptable based on strength, impact and hardness. So what is the test procedure? Take about 2 kg of given aggregate passing IS 20 mm sieve and retain on 10 mm sieve. Keep the aggregate in density basket and then keep the basket in water. Allow the aggregate and basket to be in water for 24 hours. After 24 hours, find the suspended weight of the basket with aggregate. Remove the basket out of water and remove the aggregate. Keep the empty basket back in water and find the suspended weight. Wipe the surface of aggregate using a cotton cloth to make them surface dry. Find the weight of surface dry aggregate in air. Then find the weight of surface dry aggregate in air. Keep the aggregate in oven at 110 degrees centigrade for 24 hours. Then the specific gravity and water absorption is calculated from the relation The specific gravity W4 divided by W3 minus whole into W1 minus W2. Then water absorption will be find out by W3 minus W4 divided by W4 into 100%. Okay. And remember that specific gravity has no units. The next one is soundness test and test procedures. To study the resistance of aggregate to weathering action by conducting weathering test, accelerated weathering test cycle. In order to quicken the effect of weathering due to alternate wet, dry or freeze thaw cycles in the laboratory. Thaw means like we have to bake the material in normal condition. The resistance to disintegration of aggregate is determined by using saturated solution of sodium sulfate and magnesium sulfate. Clean dry aggregates of specified size is weighed and counted. Then immersed in the saturated solution of sodium sulfate for magnesium sulfate for 16 to 18 hours. Then the aggregates are dried in an oven at 105 degrees centigrade to 110 degrees centigrade to a constant weight, thus making one cycle of immersion and drying. The number of such cycles is decided by prior agreement and then the specimens are tested. After completing the final cycle, the sample is dried and each fraction aggregate is examined visually to see if there is any evidence of excessive splitting, crumbling or disintegration of the grains. Okay. In this way, we are conducting the soundness test. So, in this test, we are using two solution, saturated sodium sulfate or magnesium sulfate. Okay. In this way, we have to find out the crushing value, the abrasive value, the impact value, the water absorption value, what is the specific gravity, what is the soundness of that aggregate, and after that getting all the values, then we will start the construction work if this aggregate is acceptable for our construction or not. Okay, so today we have completed our third chapter, that is road materials. In the next class I'm going to teach you about the fourth number chapter, that is road pavement, like flexible pavement and rigid pavement. Okay, thank you.